I know this is not your first time being to Hong Kong, especially to the Asia Financial Forum. I bet you may like Hong Kong a little bit, so that's why you come back.
Actually, let me correct you because I love Hong Kong.
Thank you.
I love so much Hong Kong that I'm actually a Hong Kong permanent resident.
Hi everyone, welcome to the new episode of the Ways Economic Digest. Today, I'm very, very honored to have a heavyweight special guest with us today, the Chief Executive Officers for the Indonesia Investment Authority. Can I call you
You
Madam?
can, yeah.
Okay. With us today is Ms. Dr. Ridha Wirakusumah. Okay. I know this is not your first time being to Hong Kong, especially to the Asia Financial Forum. I bet you may like Hong Kong a little bit, so that's why you come back.
Actually, let me correct you because I love Hong Kong.
Thank you.
I love so much Hong Kong that I'm actually a Hong Kong permanent resident.
Oh.
So I've been living here, in and out, working here. My family still live here. I commute to Hong Kong, so Hong Kong is my second home.
Thank you for saying that. Do you enjoy so far?
Of course.
Okay.
And I love this weather especially.
Okay. First of all, can you give the audience a brief introduction of the Indonesia Investment Authority, the investment philosophy, and what do you guys do? And
yeah. So in the world of sovereign wealth fund, Indonesia is a baby. We were founded just 4.5 years ago. Countries like Middle East countries like Kuwait, Qatar, they've had sovereign wealth fund for 75 years or so. Even Singapore, like Temasek and GIC, has been around for almost 50 years. So for a country like our size, 4.5 years is very, very young, so to speak. So Indonesia Sovereign Wealth Fund, we are the first one. There is a second one that I just actually announced last year. But we have a couple of different mandates. One of the mandates, obviously, is to create wealth and build wealth for future generations. But we also have a mandate to bring in investments, especially from overseas, to capitalize on the opportunities within Indonesia and invest in Indonesia. So we have doubled our AUM since we founded a few years ago. We have invested over $1 billion every year with partners from over 40 institutions from 15 countries. We always announce our partners. Actually, there is one from Hong Kong, there's a one from China, of course, from many countries. But what we do is we invest primarily in Indonesia, but we can also invest overseas to tap on the growth opportunity that will make our partner and us win together. The investment has to be on a win-win basis. If you are an investor from Hong Kong and you can invest anywhere in the world, for you to invest in Indonesia along with us, it has to pass your risk return. You cannot just invest in Indonesia because you like me. You also have to make sure that your investment is in good prospect. Otherwise, you will not come back, right? And because we are co-investing with you, if you lose, I lose. If you win, I win. That's that's the philosophy also.
That's why we want to win together.
That's right.
In situations.
That's right.
Okay. I understand that the INA invest in various sectors. Is there any particular sectors that you think is very important especially for 2026, or is there any focus of your investment sectors in the coming year?
Yeah, those are two different things. So we set the focus 4 years ago. Last year, we added one sector. Whether that sector plays well in the prospect of 2026, we think so. But we invested in initially 4 sectors. 1 is infrastructure, 2 is healthcare, 3 is digital, including AI, of course. Number 4 is in renewable energy. Last year, we added advanced material. So those are the 5 areas. Within asset class, of course, there is an infrastructure, but within that, there's also a real estate sector, but within the infrastructure column. So, if you really want to have the sector, it's those 4 plus 1 areas. Infrastructure, healthcare, digital, renewable energy, and advanced materials.
Doctor, when you mentioned the digital investment, were you referring to digital assets or industry that related to digital technology?
Yeah, let me clarify. So anything digital is something we can look into. What we have invested so far, we now invested in the largest telco tower, which is a digital infrastructure. We also now invested in the largest data center, which is AI capable in Indonesia, using the latest GPU chips. We are reviewing investments in other digital infra. We have invested in digital commerce. For example, we invested in the largest online travel apps in Southeast Asia, which we have exited since. So when we talk about digital, we did a couple of deals, but digital is quite fast, obviously. There is a software, there is a hardware. We've invested on both, but a lot of time it's a little bit more on the hardware, a little bit more on
infrastructure?
Yeah, like but AI is clearly falls in that category.
Okay. Given the situations for the interest rates and the geopolitical situations the past couple of years, does that affect the investment strategies of the IIA?
It does. Indirectly, it does. When I say indirectly, we're not politicians, nor do we deal in politics, but a lot of time our investment may be affected by geopolitical changes, and that could be positive and could be negative. I give you an example. If we are building roads, I don't think it's very political. It's building roads. People use it. In a data center, for example, because we are deemed a neutral country, we are using NVIDIA B1 Blackwell chips, which can be prohibited in some countries, but for us it's okay. And it's actually being used by hyperscalers for AI learning, for example. So the fact that Indonesia is a neutral country, geopolitically speaking, that helps. With China manufacturing, for example, we are investing in lithium ferrophosphate cathode active material, which in layman term is a part for battery components. Because we are a neutral country, again, we're exporting to, globally, including names like Tesla or Ford or Stellantis or LG, so we benefited from the development of geopolitical getting worse, but we are a neutral country. So what I'm saying is we're not really directly playing the politics, but we potentially can be benefited from some of the changes in geopolitics. But of course, there might be some impact on the trade war, for example. But again, it depends on, we just pay attention to. The good thing is Indonesia domestic market is also quite big. So, it dampens the risk a little bit.
So it sounds like the geopolitical situations has indeed given Indonesia an advantage as a neutral country. That's one of the biggest advantage.
Yeah, I mean, you can say that that glass is half full or half empty, right? But in our case, I would like to think it's actually half full.
Okay. When you mention investment in, for example, in China and in collaborations with Hong Kong or China, do you think the Belt and Road Initiative make any collaborations between Hong Kong, China, and Indonesia, and how does that affect?
Okay, let me say a few things. Belt and Road Initiative, which I will be having meeting with them after this, is probably one of the best initiative in the world. It brings infrastructures to a lot of corners in the world, but it hasn't been directed towards Southeast Asia or Indonesia in particular yet. It has been towards the Silk Road, for example, all the way to Africa. Chinese construction companies have come in on their own, commercially, not necessarily under Belt and Road Initiative. I think the main focus has been on the Silk Road and Africa, and I think now it's starting to, also look into areas in Southeast Asia. So I think, well, first and foremost, as I mentioned, it's a very good initiative, but we haven't teamed up with them yet. We have teamed up with Silk Road Fund from China. We have teamed up with, CIC, but not specifically on Belt and Road.
So not yet. Do you see any opportunities for additional collaborations on the Belt and Road?
Definitely. Definitely. I mean, just imagine we have 17,000 islands. The second largest island, which is called Sumatra, which we invested in the toll road with the pension fund from Holland and sovereign wealth fund from UAE. It's only investing in a portion. That whole island is not yet connected. That's just one island. We have 17,000 islands. So there's so many things we could do. We need a lot of ports, we need a lot of airports, we need a lot of basic infrastructure. So there certainly is needed.
So that's a lot of investment opportunities and a lot of chances for China and the other Belt and Road country to invest in Indonesia.
A lot. Although I have to say that if you're talking about commercial, not all toll roads are created equally. Some segment of toll roads may be highly profitable. Some segment of toll road may be
Less
profitable. So it may take time for the less profitable to become profitable. And that's why not every single infrastructure investments could be highly rewarding. So you have to be very selective in choosing, which areas to invest, where to invest.
Okay. Having said that, do you have any comment on Hong Kong as an international financial center or as an Asia hub? For example, when you're coming to Asia Financial Forum as a speakers and as a very important participants, do you get a chance to meet up with investors around the world?
Well, I was paying extremely close attention to the chief executive remarks earlier today. He was talking about continuing the capital market advancement and development. To make sure that the attractiveness of Hong Kong as a free society, strong legal system continues. So that's good. And the fact that Hong Kong was the #1 IPO market in the world last year, you need to keep that going, right? He was talking about ensuring that the listing are also good. So that's one. But I was also extremely happy to hear how Hong Kong has taken a much more progressive approach in the digital financial world, like stable coins or blockchain type, which requires, number one, a very progressive regulatory environment, but also at the same time, very careful and progressive risk management, because when you develop the digital financial market, not only it comes with prospect, also comes with risk. But I think Hong Kong is at the forefront, so I'm happy to that. The bonus is, on the bonus is on the gold. For example, people talk about setting up the gold storage and then gold industry and gold trading, stuff like that. So that's very positive. The other one, obviously, on the biotech side. So there's a number of things that I believe Hong Kong can develop and become a truly a center of excellence. I kept telling, the administrator in Hong Kong, please pay attention to Southeast Asia and pay attention to Indonesia in particular, because it's a huge market.
Definitely.
Yeah.
In terms of collaboration in Hong Kong, I understand that you would very much like to collaborate together. Is there any advice or any recommendations that you think Hong Kong as a whole or the government could do to strengthen the collaborations between Hong Kong and Indonesia?
There is quite I think number one is the dialogue that the Hong Kong government and Indonesian government has started was a good one. I think Chief Executive and Paul Chan and everybody else has started to come in to Indonesia team come here. That's good, but you cannot be going hot and cold, but it's both sides. Yeah? Meaning you have to be constantly absolutely going to develop. The thing is, for Indonesia to go to Singapore is so much closer. But to me, Hong Kong is so much more rewarding because it's bigger and it's also much more sophisticated in the sense of the variety of and also it's a gate to China. Yeah. And I think that's something that oftentimes being missed a bit, or Indonesians are not yet. I think we should both have something to blame and something to thankful in terms of openness. But when I say blame in a very positive way is Indonesians have to be more proactive to go to Hong Kong, and Hong Kong has to be more proactive to go to Indonesia as well.
Okay.
Indonesia is not an easy market to understand sometimes, but that's when the reward could become bigger.
Absolutely. As you mentioned, there's a lot of potential investment opportunities in Indonesia for the foreign investors, including Hong Kong, to collaborate together in the future. Hopefully, we will see more and more collaboration between Hong Kong, China, and Indonesia. Okay. And,
that's my hope too.
Thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you. It's great to be here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.